Welcome to my debate of the week, and this is about Global Force Wrestling taking a bite out of the National Wrestling Alliance. If you did see the interview with Mike Tenay and Jeff Jarrett with a Karen on the side, as much as the Slug Daddy thinks of Karen as a horse-faced bitch, I wouldn't. I'd probably be enjoying every body part on her body. She's pretty decently skinny, she's not that bad looking, and her boobs still look pretty good in the butt. So I wouldn't have a problem with her. But this is not about how Karen Jarrett still has some decent looks at the age of 42. She's 2 years younger than me. But what Jeff Jarrett said about Global Force Wrestling, what he wants the company to be. Now, when you look at TNA, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. When you look at TNA and when it was originally formed, he did this with his dad and created a promotion that really sponsored himself more than most of the wrestlers. You can debate that, saying that he didn't do that much or he did. But that's how it came off to most wrestling fans and people on YouTube who do these reviews. Maybe for the last 8 to 10 years they've been doing these reviews, and this is the stuff they talked about. TNA has been basically promoting a Jeff Jarrett, or sometimes will promote Jeff Jarrett and the other wrestlers, or all the wrestlers. But it's been basically a ordinary promotion, nothing extravagant. But now Jeff Jarrett wants to create a new promotion that takes a page out of the National Wrestling Alliance. And National Wrestling Alliance, if you don't remember that, is a promotion that had a champion that was recognized across most promotions that was in the United States, from the East to the Midwest to the West to the South and to the North. There were a lot of promotions that had the same champion across all of them. So essentially speaking, if he is trying to take a bite out of the National Wrestling Alliance, could he actually do it? And how far are anyone going to be willing to do it? Because the National Wrestling Alliance was destroyed by the WWE back in the 70s and early 80s. Starrcade did great, but WrestleMania did better. And when it comes down to it, if WWE didn't exist, the National Wrestling Alliance would still probably be the major promotion across the entire country and possibly international by now. Because it was the one that brought a whole bunch of minor promotions together under one banner and had one champion that would go from one territory to another, be seen on television across those territories, and it would be recognized, so everyone would benefit from having one unified champion, one unified type of roster, because the very rosters from maybe Mid-Atlantic would work over in the WWE, or would work over in WCW or WCW or Eastern Championship Wrestling, or it became ECW, or like Florida Championship Wrestling. It would be spread all over the place. Talent would go from one promotion to another. They would be recognized, and if they won a championship, they would go across all the other promotions with it. If he's trying to recapture that moment, he better make sure two things. One, he better make damn sure that the current promotions that are the most recognized in the world, which is currently ROH, TNA, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Lucha Underground has just been formed in the last year and a half, so it's pretty as young as him. At least a little more. AAA has been around for quite a while. Several promotions. I think Stampede Wrestling is still around. I'm not sure, but if he's really going to try and pull this off and try to build a group of promotions under one banner where everyone would share the same belt, or at least in this respect, if it's not going to be the Global Force Championship, on Global Force Wrestling, they'll show the TNA World Heavyweight Championship and the champion. They'll show the ROH champion and television champion. They'll show Triple H's champion. They'll show New Japan Pro Wrestling champion. And they would try to build storylines around those people in one centralized place that would actually promote everyone And if FCW, well, I'm going to keep saying GFW. I don't know why I keep saying FCW. I am dyslexic, so I'm very sorry. If GFW does this correctly, this is what I believe they should do. If I was Jeff Jarrett, or I was someone who knew Jeff, I would say, Jeffrey, listen to me carefully. This is the best way to pull this off. This promotion will not be a promotion that has its own care. You are going to bring in wrestlers from the other promotions. Let them face the people in your promotion, but also let them promote their own belts. And any pay-per-views you have will only promote them. You get a certain percentage of the other promotion's money to centralize everyone under your promotion. You also do some weekly shows to promote your people, but still those people will have to face them. They won't be allowed to get the championship titles from your promotion, or if they did, they must go to their promotion to defend it, and then pay-per-views is when you would change hands. I know that sounds a little wild and probably doesn't make any sense to most people, but I'm seeing this from a promotion standpoint, that if you're trying to unify as many promotions as you can to compete with the WWE, or at least stay alive, even if you never reach to the heights of the WWE or WCW or even TNA at one point, you got to make this promotion unifiable. So you got to let your own talent deal with the talent from the other promotions. You got to spotlight not only your belt, but you got to spotlight every other belt that is from the other promotion and give them possible and very credible storylines going into pay-per-views, that either you're going to have 2 pay-per-views in a month. The first one will be for the people from the other promotions that you will spotlight. The other one will be for the people in your promotion. It is the only way I see this working. You must unify everyone, and it cannot be about him, it can't be about Karen, and it can't be about trying to make your promotion better than any of them. If you're going to try and be another National Wrestling Alliance and bring a whole bunch of promotions together, it's got to be shared. Now, could it work? I don't know. In this day and age, if this was back in the 70s and 60s, and the National Wrestling Alliance went up against Global Force Wrestling, and it tried to do the same thing with promotions that were not connected to the National Wrestling Alliance, they could get away with it because things were different. Media was different. There was only television. There was no internet. Mostly people shared tapes or film reels. They usually did tapes by the 80s. I know that's kind of saying a lot. But that's the best way it could work. In this day and age, with social media the way it is, to be honest, I don't know if it could work. Having a National Wrestling Alliance, which does exist today, is highly diminished compared to the way it used to be back in the 70s and 80s. It is hugely diminished. It used to have maybe 20 or 30 promotions under its belt. They'll be lucky if they have 10 or 12. I haven't even checked how many promotions National Wrestling Alliance is connected to. So it's hard to tell. But if Global Force Wrestling is going to do what the National Wrestling Alliance did, it must be only about bringing everyone together, giving them a major platform for the other promotions to show their belts and the best people. Do 2 pay-per-views in a month, one for the different promotions and one for yourself to promote yourself. Do weeklies, but once or twice. You do weeklies twice a week. One for your own people, or one for the people that are coming from the other promotions to spotlight them. Or you would do 1 week your promotion, the next week will be your promotion dealing with someone from another promotion. That sounds confusing, but it sounds like the best option. But this is my perspective on Global Force Wrestling. How about yours? And I hope you enjoyed this debate of the week. Please give me a comment below. I'm very sorry for the coughing and a little confusion. I am having bad allergy problems. There's nothing I can do about it. I will be trying to do more videos, but I must warn you, I'm still working on a computer right now for a friend of mine and setting up my own, and I'm writing a book. It's only like 20 or 30 pages, but it has stuff that's necessary for her to use the computer because she's not computer savvy. And I'm not much more than a above novice, but I understand how to make it work. So have a good day and have a good night. Peace out.